Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. Well, we are getting to that time of the year right before we hear what is coming on the 2025 Toyota Tundra. That's still about a month and a half out. So, what I always like to do at this time of year is ask you guys, what do you want to see on the new model year of Toyota Tundra? Yesterday morning, I put up a community tab asking, what would you like to see? So I went ahead and I summarized some of your responses. If you want to see each response, because there were quite a few replies to this community post, head over to the community post tab and see what everybody is saying. One thing I didn't add to this list, I tried to keep it as realistic as possible. There were a lot of folks asking for the V8 to come back for 2025. Now we know that's not going to happen. Toyota is going to put all they have into the current setup, the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6. This is a global engine. It's in a lot of Toyotas and a lot of Lexuses. They're going to do the best they can to get that engine as good as possible. They're just going to keep working on that. So I wouldn't expect a V8 anytime soon, especially with all of the EPA stuff that goes on and the emission standards. So I left that off the list, but just know when you go and look at that community post, you're going to see a lot of bring back the V8. So number one, price reduction. Everybody is wishing the Tundra was a lot cheaper. Now, I don't see that happening as far as MSRP. Every year the MSRP goes up a little bit. Where we can see that happening is things like better incentives and dealer discounts. Now, we're kind of seeing that right now. We're not there on incentives yet because interest rates are still insane, but there are some dealers out there giving some pretty big discounts trying to move Tundras off their lot. I've seen a lot of viewers contact lately talking about, some of the deals they got, and they're insane deals. You may have to go a little bit further out than you normally would as far as your radius of shopping, but there are dealers out there looking to give big discounts now. Being that the inventory levels are back to normal, discounts are a regular thing again, and they're just going to continue to get better and better. So as far as the price reduction goes, realistically, that's where you're going to be able to get a Tundra potentially for what you want to pay for it. I always say to people when they go to shop, at any given dealership or they're doing their research, if they are, price pointed at a limited, built a certain way, before they commit to anything, they should really look around because nowadays you may be able to get that platinum that has all of that stuff you built up into a limited standard for the same price as that limited. That's how good deals are out there right now. Number two, our favorite, tow hooks. Everybody wants to see tow hooks come back to the Tundra. I'm on that list as well. Some people even said at least tow hooks on the TRD off-road and pro packages. I agree with that too. I think tow hooks should just be on all pickup trucks. But if you want tow hooks and you don't want to wait for Toyota to integrate them into a future model year, you could always go to AFE. They have tow hooks for the Tundra. I have them on mine. Simple install, not very expensive. And you know what? They're there just in case something goes wrong, which is the reason tow hooks are there, in case you need to be pulled out of a ditch or something. So tow hooks was one of the main things everybody said, and I do hope Toyota eventually puts tow hooks back onto the Toyota Tundra. Next up, and this was a big one too, and I like this, and I kind of, again, summarized all this, so make sure you go check out that community post. Quality control improvements. And that's across the board. There were people talking about the bearing issue the Tundra is having with the recall and all that, and the metal debris, the shavings. And some people were talking about the cab noise that they're still having, the wind noise, and the center console rattle, stuff like that. Everybody wants to see quality control improvements. Now, I hope that going down into these model years, it's just going to get better and better and better. My 2023 Tundra doesn't have wind noise. It doesn't have any rattling. The center console is completely quiet, which is great. And I know there are a lot of you out there that are in good shape like I am, but there's still some people out there that are having some problems. And quality control, button it all up, including all of the recall issues and stuff like that. And we'll move on down the road. And I think eventually this generation will be a reliable generation. I want to just touch on this for 2 seconds because it kind of has to do with quality control. No one likes recalls, but at least the manufacturer is not ignoring the problem. So we deal with some recalls up front. We've had quite a few in the beginning of this generation. And hopefully as we move on down the road, it just gets better and better and better. But thankfully, they're acknowledging and trying to make it the best it can be with the box they're put into these days, like I always say, because these auto manufacturers can't just do what they want. They have to do things a certain way because of all the regulations and everything like that. So quality control, that's what you guys are talking about. You want to see get better on the 2025. That's a wait and see game. We shall see. Another one, and I really want you guys to comment on this. A lot of people were bringing up full-time four-wheel drive. Is that something you would want instead of having to turn the four-wheel drive on when you need it? Let me know what you think in the comments below on that. It was hit or miss. Some people said full-time four-wheel drive. There were thumbs up on it, and then there were no, we don't want full-time four-wheel drive. So go down in the comments. Would you like to see at least some of the Toyota Tundras for 2025 or going forward have full-time four-wheel drive? This was another popular one too. Better bed access. Some people say that kick down step or the automatic bed step are not enough for bed access. They want something a little bit better. People always bring up what the Chevy Silverado has with the integrated steps in the bumper. That could be something going forward. But that was a big one there, better bed access. And also I put this in, the same category, some tailgate options. Now, the way I took that is maybe, a tailgate that has different, parts you can open on it, like some of the other brands have out there, or an automatic up tailgate like the Tacoma has, something like that. Because what we have now is we have a button to drop it down, but we have to put it up ourselves, which is fine with me. Another fun one that always seems to come up every time we do the videos about the next model year is the Sequoia front end setup. Meaning, when you look at the Tundra, you will see the black grille, and then it has the black bumper and the black center piece at the lower bumper. Well, the Sequoia has a body color top of the bumper there that kind of breaks up all of that front end to make it not look like it has a giant grille all the way down to the bottom of the bumper. People love the look of the Sequoia front end. Some people have done conversions to make it look that way, but people want to see it from the factory, just like the Sequoia. Personally, I have a midnight black Tundra, and I think it goes great because my whole setup just looks like it already is like the Sequoia, minus the chrome surround. But either way, I don't think it looks terrible. I think it looks better on some colors and some setups, but the Sequoia front end setup is a very popular one that people want to see on this Tundra. Another one. This is just an obvious thumbs up from everybody here, including me. Upgrade the remote start. If you don't know this by now, if you remote start your Tundra and you go to open the door or unlock it, it shuts off. Where other brands and other Toyota vehicles actually, you remote start, and then when you go out to your car, you just open the door and you're good to go. It does not shut off the engine. So that does need to be upgraded. I totally agree. There are many aftermarket options out there, but at this price point, I want everyone to be able to get the remote start they've been asking about for years. This isn't a new gen thing. This has been talk on Toyota Tundra forums here for years, everywhere, second gen, third gen, the remote start. A lot of people are unhappy with it. So in this day and age, at this price point, it's time to upgrade that for sure. All right, I love that somebody said this because I talk about this on almost every dealer walk I go on. Separate the premium audio package in SR5. Now, what do I mean by that? The premium audio package in SR5 gives you the 14-inch screen, the big infotainment screen, and it also gives you the bed lights and the outlet. The crazy thing is, because the bed lights and outlet are part of the premium audio package, you can't get them unless you get the 14-inch screen. So if you have an 8-inch screen, it's automatic. You don't have the bed lights or outlet. That should be a separate package. Make it like, a bed utility package or something. I don't think it should be included with the 14-inch screen. It just doesn't make sense. So I totally agree with the viewers that brought that one up. Separate that package out. And other people did say they wish there was more separation in the packages. Some people were talking about how they can only find a package on a certain color. I've seen that on the build and price tool. I would put in, say, a limited TRD off-road blueprint, and all of a sudden I couldn't get a certain package. So just make it a lot easier for these potential owners to be able to set up the truck the way they want. Again, and I say this a lot, especially at this price point. If people are going to spend this kind of money, they're not going to settle. So that's everything you guys were talking about. I have a couple to add here. Let's just go over these one more time. Again, go check out the community post. Go down below in the comments here and let us know what you would like to see in the 2025 Tundra. But just a quick go over here. People would love to see, for 2025, a price reduction, tow hooks, at least on the TRD off-road, quality control improvements across the board, full-time four-wheel drive, better bed access and more tailgate options, Sequoia front bumper setup, upgrade the remote start, separate the premium audio package so you can get the bed lights and outlet with the 8-inch screen, and now we're up to me. And this was in my 2024, what do we hope to see for that model year video? And it's probably going to be in the next one. And it has to do with the SR. I focus a lot of time on the SR. I feel like that could be the bread and butter of the Tundra for Toyota. That is the work fleet truck, the low trim of the Tundra line. But that doesn't mean it's the one that gets ignored. There's some things on the SR, or should I say, there's some things not on the SR that should be there. Just a few. Number one, you can't get the SR with the Crew Max and the 6.5-foot bed. You could get it double cab with the 6.5-foot bed or the 8-foot bed. You could get it Crew Max with the 5.5-foot bed, but you can't do the Crew Max and the 6.5-foot bed. And I feel like it makes total sense to have that setup in the SR. It's a work fleet truck. It's a truck that you're going to buy for work purposes, landscaping, construction. You're going to want the crew. You're going to want the bigger bed to take all of your stuff with you. You're going to want the tow package to tow the trailer. So give all possible working options down low, including the cab and bed configuration of Crew Max with 6.5-foot bed. That's number one. Number two, get rid of the detuned iForce engine and just give the regular iForce engine in SR. If you don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but in the SR, it's slightly detuned versus the regular iForce engine that's in SR5 and up. So just get rid of the detuned stuff, give the full power of the iForce engine down low, and let those people tow as much as they need to their job site. That's very important. Now, there's some other things that aren't on the SR that need to be. You cannot get the bed lights and outlet down low, again, with that 14-inch screen thing we were talking about. Make it so you can standard get the bed lights, the outlet, the deck rail system, and the tow package. The tow package is an add-on for SR. All things like that should be standard on SR. And then I'd be happy. That's where my focus is every single year. It's really the tow hooks. I'd always like to see a cheaper Tundra for sure, for price reasons, and price points are, all over the place nowadays. But that SR is where my focus has been. If you go back and look at the last couple of years of videos of the new gen, let's sit down and talk about the SR and make it the best it could possibly be, because that is where folks are going to be buying these Tundras to use for the job. They need everything they can possibly get to make their job easier, like bed lights and outlet, deck rail system, tow package standard, which most I see SR-wise do come with the tow package. It's a simple add-on, but it shouldn't even be an add-on. It should just be there. And let's just put the regular iForce in there. Last but not least, one thing you guys mentioned the last couple years, but you didn't mention this year for good reason, is you asked for more variety of Tundras on any given lot. Now, what we've seen at this point last year when I made this video, there was like 3 Tundras per lot. They weren't up to full song again. They were still coming out of the part shortage and everything. But now this year, we're seeing plenty of Tundras on the lot. And that is by design, because we are now back to pre-COVID levels of inventory, and we're back to pre-COVID replenishment. So when trucks sell, there's more coming in. If you go onto any website for dealerships, you will see, oh, look, they have 10 on the lot, and you'll see 29 inbound, something like that. I was looking locally at all my dealerships. They have like 15, 16 inbound. That's just how it is. We're back to normal. If you go back and look at videos that I did, dealer walks from pre-2020, you will see a lot of Tundras on the lot back then as well. So now we're back to seeing a lot of Tundras on the lot with the option for you of getting what you want. And that's the most important thing as someone that talks about Tundras all the time and try to help you guys when you're trying to buy your dream truck. You don't want to have to settle. And for the last few years, it's kind of been, all right, I went to the dealership. There was only 3 Tundras. I know they're not getting any in because of all the stuff going on. So I ended up buying that. But you know what? I really didn't want that one. I wanted A, B, or C. Now, if you just do a little bit of research, if your local lot only has like 5 Tundras, do a little research, open up your radius of search. You will see some lots out there have plenty of Tundras. And I'm not just talking, they're all 1794, all limited. They're all of the trims. So that's a good thing. And that's one improvement from 2024 to 2025. And let's not forget, they did a lot of small things in 2024 that were kind of big deals. The Platinum got the TRD off-road package. The TRD Pro finally got the black headliner. Nightshade Edition made its secondary appearance because it was there on the Tundra in 2021, the last year of the second gen, but it came back for 2024. There was a lot of cool little things like that that happened in 2024, which is awesome. Limited, if you want TRD off-road, it body colored everything. So we saw some good stuff in 2024. What will we see in 2025? We see what you guys want, but now we got to wait on Toyota, probably about a month out, and we will see what's actually coming on the truck. Go down in the comments, let me know what you would like to see, and also go check out that community post to see what everybody was saying in detail. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, TundraDude34, TundraDude34 gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe and be well.